Hey, what's up, folks? Today is Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth to every last one of y'all. I appreciate you for spending a little bit of time with your boy here on New Wave Real Talk. I hope today's topics and conversation is a constructive one. I hope that you walk away inspired, educated, motivated to go out there and effect the change that you need to be. Be the change that you want to see. That's today's message. Very clear. Be the change that you want to see. So I'm looking forward to the show. So without further ado, let's jump into it.
You're listening to the New Wave Real Talk podcast, and I'm your host, Raymond Riley. This podcast is everything Black culture, covering the latest topics in politics and entertainment.
If you have
Thank you for
sat in
listening.
office and haven't done a thing to further the cause of African American people in your community, then you do not deserve to hold that office. Period. A referendum on the status quo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I can't even talk. I got straight up tongue tied. Oh boy, that was a first. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You're listening to the New Wave Real Talk podcast. I am your host, Raymond. I'm in the studio with my good friend Eric. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on with you?
Hey,
Hello, people.
Happy Juneteenth to all the Black brothers and sisters.
Thank you.
I'm representing in the studio here, y'all.
And I was not on code today. I thought about wearing like black, red, or green.
Right. Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? It was like, let me just grab a shirt right quick.
Right. Let me just get out here and get to this place
Yeah.
on time. And I appreciate you being on time, boy, all the time.
Yeah, man.
I'm the late one.
Right. If I can do anything right.
Right. Well, listen, family, we got a good show lined up for y'all today, man. I have quite a few guests today. We got Eric with me, and I got a special guest, my newfound friend. His name is D, guys. Let me tell you, this guy speaks the truth. Okay, he ain't gonna sugarcoat it for you. He gonna give it to you straight. So I'm excited about having him on the channel and on the podcast to talk about a topic that I think is definitely needed to be talked about. And I chose June 19th because it's a day that should get all of our attention and an opportunity for us to listen to each other. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and let him come on in the show. D, you with me, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I got you now. All right, man. Tell the people who you are. Just give me a quick 2 seconds, who you are, what you're about real quick, and then we're gonna get into the show.
Well, my real name, Darius Mumford, but everybody call me D. 31 years old, born and raised on the city of Atlanta on the west side.
A-Town
Highway.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know?
Yes, sir. A real stand-up type of dude from the A.
You already know, man. Try to keep it real as possible, man. Try to keep people spread the knowledge of what I know.
Right.
I know I ain't always right, but I try to keep it as real as I can.
Right. Absolutely. 100%. I can attest that you do that. All right, man. So let me set you up, D. So for people who didn't see the thumbnail about the show, this show is why, or I titled it what I said, Black Lives Matter when? That's the question. It matters.
Mm-hmm.
When does it matter, man? A lot of people that are out there protesting believe that it matters only when a white person kill a black person. So tell me what led you going live on Sunday, man, and sharing some of the thoughts that you shared last week.
Well, that's one of the reasons right there. Like, I try to ask people, like, does it only matter when a police officer or a white man does it? Like, is that all they see? And what led up to the video was I posted my opinion about the people burning down the Wendy's, because I stay not too far from the Wendy's, like literally 2-3 minutes from the Wendy's. So, and in that area, that's like the only restaurant we have to see there. So I posted my little comment saying that Black Lives Matter, right? You know, it was only black folks working at this Wendy's.
Right.
You know, just trying to make a point. Well, everybody started turning to me saying, well, it was a white lady who burnt down the Wendy's and such and such. Mm. But my point was to everybody, okay, you was out there protesting with her. Evidently, she had to be protesting with y'all. So if y'all seen her burn down the Wendy's that black owned, why y'all didn't stop her?
Right. When 95% of those employees are black.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So why do you think some people are simply silent when it come? Okay, so let's go a little bit deeper. Tell the people kind of the sentiments of some of the things that you said on that live.
I was just asking, like, how does Black Lives Matter to a lot of you guys when y'all playing both sides of the fence, or you'll have double standards to the situation? Like, how can Black Lives Matter only when a white man does it?
Right.
But every time I hear a black guy killing a black man, and it's somebody I know, the first thing they say is, "That's my homeboy. I hope you get away. I won't tell him. I won't snitch." But the same way you saying that the guy that got killed by the white man got a family to go to, the guy that the black man killed had a family to go to just as well.
Absolutely, 100%. So do you see this as a major issue in the black community, or do you feel like it's under control?
I mean, it's a major issue. It's a major issue because us as the black community is not spreading the, how can I put it, spreading the word around,
right?
Or the
leading the charge
to make it. Yeah, they not making the issue known like it should be.
Right. That there is that double standard. That, you know, one of the things that you said that on your live that got me was you said, man, you can be in the club and you step on somebody's J's and they about to they'll take your damn head off. Yeah. They'll literally kill you over a pair of shoes. But those are the same jokers out there talking about Black Lives Matter.
Well, I actually got a couple comments on that too. If y'all don't mind me hopping in on that.
Go ahead.
So one, I actually do see that point. I understand that sentiment a lot about, like, one, why didn't anybody like apprehend this white female who, I mean, and there was like footage of, you know what I'm saying, and snapshots, at least that I saw,
right,
where, you know, you see the girl in there pouring whatever, I guess gasoline or something, and then setting stuff on fire. And it's not just applying to others, but as well as ourselves. But we do have the police people, you know what I'm saying? I do agree with that 100%. And it goes for more than just the burnings, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you got the police, you know what I'm saying, like with the George Floyds or whoever else, when you have situations like that taking place, I mean, even though most of your gun owners in America are Caucasian, it's a lot of us that are gun owners, you know what I'm saying? And we should be doing a lot more than just pulling out a phone and recording this stuff happening. You know what I'm saying? We have to actually be activists in every form, not just when it's like a popular thing. You know what I'm saying? We got to hold ourselves and others accountable.
Absolutely.
It's like, look, it ain't the Wendy's. Right. It's like the Wendy's, you know what I'm saying? The worst thing that could have happened as far as anybody, you know what I'm saying, at that Wendy's, as far as any actions are concerned, is I wish that somebody would have just like tapped on the window themselves rather than calling the police.
Right.
I wish that had happened, you know what I'm saying, rather than them calling the police and then everything else ensuing the way it
escalating.
did.
Yeah.
However, it's like, you know, a lot of us are licensed carry, you know what I'm saying, gun owners, licensed to carry gun owners, or we just carry, you know what I'm saying, however it is.
Right.
And it's like, we have to do more than just record this stuff. You know what I'm saying? We have to do more than just saying, okay, we just gonna watch this person burn out something, because like Dee saying,
my brother,
there are people who work here. I get that it's not our Wendy's. At the same time, it's helping to feed a couple families, because it's somebody right now that's got to find another job. Somebody right now trying to get in line with unemployment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that could take however long it take. But
100%. Well, I mean, another question I want to ask you, D. What do you think the black community need to do to change the level of complacency regarding black on black crime? If you was, let's just role play it, if you was the goddamn president of all black people in Atlanta, what would you want to see change when it comes to the way we treat each other in our own communities?
I mean, we have to come together. We gotta stop talking about each other, down each other because of our opinion. Like, the biggest thing I see with our culture, we don't spread the love like we should.
Right.
You know, like I was saying, say we have a black dude go to school, you know what I'm saying? This is an example. We have a black dude that go to school, and we have another uneducated black brother come here and say, "Sir, well, I don't have the money to go to school. My family is struggling. Can you teach me a little bit of what you know?"
Right.
The first thing a black person do is try to eliminate themselves from the situation because they jealous about or they think about, well, if I teach him this, he's gonna make more money than me,
right?
Or he's gonna be better than me than what I know and I taught him, instead of saying I'm gonna give somebody else an opportunity to keep it going and keep it going and keep it going.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that
I would love to see.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would just love to see us like communicate better, educate folks on what's really going on out here. Like a lot of people say, yeah, true enough that the white man is killing us. Well, we know that. Why don't we educate the black brother of what to do when it comes to that situation?
Right.
Instead of saying fight the police, don't F with the police. They don't mean you no good. If you do what they say and handle your situation, 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna say every situation, but 9 times out of 10, you're gonna go home with no problem.
Right. No, I agree. I think that the headlines definitely get a lot of attention because of social media, because of the times that we live in. I do think that it needs the attention, but you're right. 9 times, more often than not, more often than not, you're gonna walk away. You shared D on your live how you carry and you've gotten pulled over. You've interacted with the police and you walked away because you did what what you were supposed to do, and though you got stopped by the one that wasn't ready to take your life. I mean, it's kind of a luck of the draw in some cases, but you're right. When you at least do what the hell you're supposed to do, the odds are in your favor a little bit better, but
a little bit more. Yeah. And I gotta tell you, man, like you bring up so many good points that it's hard for me not to like interject and just say something.
Right. That's
like,
why he's here, man.
I'm having to take notes so I can make sure I address some of this stuff, but not take up too much of your time. But but one of the things that you mentioned that I do want to speak on is like, once again, that black on black accountability. So I think you got a couple things that aren't addressed within the home. Actually, you know what? Let me just say this part. Aside from like us with the black on black stuff, there is like a bigger threat out there. That's just what it comes down to.
Right.
There is a bigger threat that is, the white systematics and just direct racism, right?
Absolutely.
So it is easier in some cases for us to look to that. And in some cases sensationalize that, but it's not like this is something that just happened overnight. You talking about where like our parents, our grandparents, and for those of us who fortunate enough, our great grandparents, and even some of us directly have seen a lot of these things happen with our own 2 eyes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you was here for the last podcast that I was on, but I did share one of my experiences from when I was a child, and there's others like me, and I didn't even know, you know what I'm saying? But people kind of coming out telling different stories about interactions with authorities that they shouldn't have. And the thing is, I think one of the reasons why we have where a lot of us are gonna, hold like police officers, especially, or politicians to a certain standard is because they should be held to a higher standard.
They should.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like that's one thing about it. Like they are trained to deal with situations, that the average person doesn't normally deal with or shouldn't deal with. You know what I mean? They should understand how to deal with the mentally ill and not see them as a threat. They should learn how to deal with somebody who just, just drunk.
Right.
And let's be real, like, I get he was drinking, but I mean, in most cases, at least for me, whenever I'm like passing out, it ain't even got. It's me being tired that amplified. I call it amplified me already being tired. The one that I was so drunk that I passed out, I was already tired from the jump.
Right. But, and alcohol does have an ability to calm your ass. I mean, especially when you ain't got the music. You know what I mean? You just chilling. You get the best sleep of your life when you're drunk.
It's a depression. So that's how it acts. But then, but going back to like our personal accountability. One thing that you mentioned that I really like was when you mentioned the jealousy aspect. And see, like jealousy, I think is something that goes back to like, the home. And we got, other things that have happened over generations that have kind of but definitely have broken up our homes and caused a lot of discord and whatnot. But like a lot of people don't understand like just human factors, you know what I'm saying? Like learning how to deal with things like jealousy, because we all experience it at some point in our lives. But you got a lot of, like a lot of sons who don't have fathers, to teach them how to deal with jealousy, or and it's like, because it's like these are natural emotions, these are natural thoughts, but it's like, okay, teaching them how to say, hey man, look, your blessing is your blessing, your opportunity is your opportunity. Just because he got what he got, that ain't necessarily for you, but teaching us how to like be people and how to be good to our people, because I think it is kind of based on our personal bubbles, but we do have a lot of people that's been preaching this, not having the black, decreasing the black on black crime for decades now, you know what I'm saying? But I think it is kind of like what our individual like tunnel vision is allowing us to perceive. Because it's like on my end, it's like, I see a lot of black people that's, learning to invest, learning to, invest in Black-owned businesses, shop in Black-owned businesses, you know, treat each other with respect and care. However, I still see the videos like everybody else where it's a Black dude hitting a girl with a skateboard or whatever else going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think it is kind of a tunnel vision that we kind of fix ourselves to where we don't necessarily always see the other things that's going on, even though the bad things are happening too. But we kind of have a tendency. Go ahead.
For me to jump into this conversation, what I was saying, I mean, like I tell people all the time, I understand that we're being treated unfairly. True enough, I cannot deny that. I see it with my own eyes, but like I tell folks like to say that, oh, the white man, why they don't have to change? Why we gotta change? Why the white man can't change? Well, we see for years that the white man ain't trying to change.
Right.
So for us to correct ourselves, why go out here in this society today? We know if we get out and make any kind of move, the police gonna kill us. So why get out and run?
Right.
Why not talk to people and say, handle this situation? If you have to go to jail, go to jail. We'll deal with it legally and fight it the right way instead of losing your life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Then I tell folks like the police are already scared of us. We out here, I understand we out here trying to make our voice heard. But when you out here burning down Wendy's, breaking down gas stations, when they pull us over, what do you think
it's only gonna make it worse?
Yeah.
Never. Yeah.
We can't.
Already.
Right. Yeah. We can't add fuel to the fire. You're right. You absolutely 100%. Right about that. Because at the end of the day, had he not resisted, he'd have just gone to jail and he'd at least have his life. You know what I'm saying? If he had not even gone to the Wendy's after having anything to drink, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, don't get me wrong, like.
But let me interject here. I want you to get guys to understand who are listening to this podcast, New Wave Real Talk. I believe that still, no matter that he ran, he should still be living. So I just want to state that for the record.
And that's what I was saying. I was going to point out.
Right. State that. Yeah. You know how our people be. You know how people be. They ties up. So and that's why we're having this conversation.
Yeah. And I guess one last point to throw in. Because I'm you know, I know I can get long with it, you know what I mean? But I get passionate and I get inspired like a motherfucker, man. But I think that something that definitely needs to happen with the police force is learning how to resolve issues in a different way. It shouldn't always be where it comes down to, especially with Black people, where it comes down to either I'm gonna arrest you, I'm gonna shoot you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because there are alternative ways, you know, like it wouldn't what would have been the issue with if you didn't want to arrest the guy. And let's say you didn't want him to like be driving the car to the side to actually park it and then, you know what I'm saying, let him take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
Why wasn't it a suggestion to say, hey, well, you need to call somebody to come pick you up, or you need to get an Uber to the house and then get this car, you know what I'm saying, taken care, however you got to do it. You know
so many options. Because I mean, so many options.
In an instance where I actually, you know what I'm saying, ran into a decent cop, because there are plenty of them out there. I was driving without insurance, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, when you ain't driving without insurance, I mean, it was like, you know, tough times or whatever.
Right.
And then, you know, after a while, your insurance, I mean, your registration
expired.
Gets suspended.
Yeah,
because of that.
Yeah, they informed the state, blah, blah, blah.
Right. And so what ended up happening was the guy pulled me over, it was over in Avondale Estates. And I just told him, like, yeah, you know, honestly, man, I just came back off of some orders or whatever. And really things been kind of tight, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's just like, but I don't stay that far from here. I'm just heading back to the house. He was like, well, look, man, like we kind of talking it out. I'm just trying to see what else we can do, you know, being respectful. But he was like, look, if you can get insurance right now, I'll let you drive your car back home. But I cannot let you drive home without insurance. Otherwise, because it'd have to get towed. You know what I'm saying? We get impounded or whatever. Right. So that's policing. That's what's supposed to happen. That's policing. It's Absolutely. Like policing should be to minimize crime, but also save life. You know what I'm saying? It's other ways to minimize crime other than locking somebody up or killing them, even though I feel like the whole locking them up feeds into a whole nother topic that I don't even you know what I'm saying, that's wrong with it. But that's why I stand with it.
Yeah.
Hey, can I jump in on that?
Yes, sir. Time? Yes, sir.
Well, like I say, I do both sides of the field. I'm a civilian out here in the street and I do law enforcement, you know what I'm saying? It kind of put when you're a law enforcement officer and you're going through a situation like that, it kind of puts you in the bind. I understand what you're saying. There's plenty of other ways that it could have been resolved. Yeah, he could have easily let him go. But let's say he did let him go and he came back later on and got his car, got his key from whoever they gave the key to and killed somebody. Then they would have tried to blame the cop for letting him go. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yeah,
and
that's a
like,
possibility.
another situation, like I hear a lot of people say, true enough, it could have went this way. I hear a lot of people say that the employees from Wendy's could have knocked on the window themselves. But let's say they did do that, and he messed around and shot one of them because we didn't know he didn't have a gun till the police got there.
All right.
Let's say he just knocked on that window and shot one of them. What people would have had to say then, because we had that situation a couple years ago at the drive-in movie theater. I don't know if y'all know about it on Moreland Avenue where the dude's car broke down and he knocked on the dude's car next to him and the dude shot him and killed him. So we had that situation. That's why I say I understand. There's a lot of ways it could have went, but let's say logical. Like, was it safer to do it that way either?
Yeah, I mean, those are some good questions.
Yeah, and sure. And I would say that I think that that's the issue that we have now is that there isn't enough thought or even just enough simulation. You know what I'm saying? Because like when we have where these different things going on, like especially when it comes to our police or military or whoever else, you know what I'm saying? We train how we fight. You know what I'm saying? And then we train for different scenarios, and so it's like, okay, well. Another thing is we at least I would say like for the military in my time in the service or whatever, it's like they throw different things at you to get you to where, you know, saying coming up with different problem solving skills or whatever to help where you can think outside the box, think about, okay, what's the safest way to go about this? What's the safe way to go about that? And make sure that you can conduct things in a manner that don't resort to the end of somebody's life. Right. Because I feel like ultimately, regardless of what other possibilities we could entertain, because there's so many things we could, you know, throw out there from both sides of the fence. It's like it should not have resulted in somebody losing their life. You know what I'm saying? It's like true. And that's the only thing that really we can boil down to when it comes to, because it's like, I mean, shit, it's a rabbit hole of it's so many, you know what I'm saying, links in the chain where it's like, okay, what if we had done this? What if we had done this? What if we had done that? But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll
unfortunately never know. But man, I want to go ahead and put a lid on this segment, man. D, I appreciate you coming on the podcast and sharing your message. And I definitely will be working, you know, to try to work with you to, you know, advocate for, you know, awareness when it comes to black on black crime and when it comes to governing ourselves, because that is very, very important to me. So man, I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
I really appreciate it, man. Giving me the opportunity, man. That's what it's all about, man. Helping another black person get his, you know, opinion out there. Don't judge them by, you know, helping each other out, spreading the word, man. Like I say, man, and I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna get up out this thing, man. But like I say, man, let's just stop the Black Lives Matter for only when a white person do it. Let's educate our brothers, man, and hold ourselves accountable for it. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Us as black need to better ourselves, and us as white need to better ourselves. Until that happens, it'll never be a better place, man. So let's all just, you know what I'm saying, get on one page, man, make this thing happen, man, make it a better place, man. That's all I can say.
100%, D. Thank you, man, again for coming on. You always have an opportunity to come on the podcast, and I'll be talking with you directly. All right, man. You be safe out there.
Peace, bro. Peace.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to New Wave Real Talk. We're going to go ahead and grab a quick break, and we'll be right back with a little bit more action. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, you're listening to New Wave Real Talk. We will be right back. But before we come back, I want to drop something on you real fast. Go ahead and let me know how you're liking the show. If you are watching via Facebook, go ahead and start a watch party. It's not too late. We're probably just beginning the show. So go ahead and start a watch party. Let your friends and family know to come in and get in on this conversation. So I appreciate it in advance, and we'll be right back with more of the show. So don't go anywhere. Don't leave.
That was a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with the show. I thought that was going to be a little bit longer. 1 minute go by real fast when you ain't paying attention. So I hope you guys enjoyed that first segment. We do have another guest. She was supposed to be my co-host, but she had to take opportunity to not catch the coronavirus. She can't come in the studio, but we do got her coming in on the StreamYard here. So I'm gonna go ahead and introduce my good friend, Miss Celia. Now I hope she'll come in here trying to look at the face.
Now we'll do no stuff. And let me tell you something. Y'all know I'm 60 years old. I ain't trying to catch no coronavirus. What's wrong with y'all? I am not gonna do that. Look,
that was right. That wasn't me. Hey, Miss Celia.
Because I love you. So I cannot expose myself. Now I went to a barbecue this weekend because my nephew begged me, but it's ramping up. It's ramping up. So we got to be careful. We really do.
100%.
We really do. We got to take it serious, real serious. I work out. I feel 100%. Good, but I'm not taking it lightly. I think Donald Trump done brainwash y'all. I really do. Y'all think everything okay? Everything ain't okay.
Well, he ain't brainwashed. He ain't brainwashed me. That's for doggone sure. Well, we're getting a little bit of feedback on my side, Celia. So here's what I want to do. I'm gonna call you on my phone. I'm gonna take you off the video because I gotta have clean audio for the podcast aspect of the show. So I'm gonna take you off the video and I'm gonna call you. So I'm gonna call you in. So that way your audio is gonna be crystal clear and we can have you in on the show. Okay.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and call Miss Celia and get her in on the show because her audio was a lot more choppier than I thought it would be. So we're going to go ahead and get her in on the phone. I don't hear anything ringing. Okay. Now she's ringing. Hey Celia. All right, you're on the show. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
All right, perfect. I hear you crystal clear now. So tell me a little bit about how you felt about that first part of the segment. I want to just get your quick opinion on that, give you an opportunity to speak to it.
Yeah, I think the young man that you had on there, I think he made a lot of sense. But remember where I come from and where I've been. And
hold on, Celia. Hold on. Close. I'm gonna kick you out of the studio. It's because you still had your tablet on, so you should be good now. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I think he did a good job explaining everything, and he had a good a lot of good sound bites in there. But I think when you talk about somebody shooting somebody with a taser gun, shooting at them and they shoot them with bullets, that's bullshit.
Right.
I'm lying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. And there ain't no such thing as a black man getting home safe because he falls in the damn room.
Right. Well,
that's bullshit.
The sentiment of the reason I invited Dee onto the show was to talk a little bit more about the black on black aspect. How do you feel about the black on black crime that we have in our communities and the responsibility that we have to take to fix it?
The bottom line of that, Raymond, you got to understand the history of black on black crime.
Oh no, I do. I understand the slave mentality. I understand the fact that we are against each other from the jump.
Who wants that? Nobody wants that in their community.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. But when you pigeonhole a person, there's no job, there's no education, you crowd the schools, you give them less adequate education to books, to teachers, to healthcare. A mama crying, he has no education, his mama sick, he don't go out there slaying some drugs.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If he had everything, or she had everything to her as her white counterpart, you think he would do that? Absolutely not.
Right. No, I do. You're right. You make a good point. I think that the systematic oppression,
let's talk what it is, brother.
So many things, yeah.
It's systematic racism.
It is systematic racism. Yeah, it is. But we gotta leave the.
Keep you oppressed.
Yeah, but we gotta leave the plantation. We do. We gotta get off the plantation. I used to have a teacher that said that to me. Mr. Kelly, yeah, gotta get off the plantation.
No, I've been off that damn plantation. I don't know what plantation. I've been gone.
I hear you.
Actually, can I say something? So,
sure.
Actually, in this case, I see the duality in it, because what Miss Celia is, I'm not making you sound too old by saying Miss Celia. I should just say Celia. I just don't know you, so I don't want to be disrespectful.
What?
I don't know you yet, so I don't want to be disrespectful. Can you hear me? She can't hear me.
I can hear you now.
Okay, you hear me now? Okay. So like I see like a certain dualism with what Miss Celia is saying, because there is a lot of this systematic.
I can't hear you because you're speaking so fast. I didn't hear clearly.
Well, it's turned all the way up on my side, so I can't do anything else.
He's speaking real fast. That's all.
Oh, okay. So I need to slow it down some. Okay. So I was saying, I do understand. I do see like a dualism from your perspective, where it's like there is like, yeah, we do have to learn how to police our own. We do have to like step outside the plantation individually. However, yeah, there is a bigger systematic issue when it comes to
dualism. What do you mean?
Well, like there's like, so what I'm saying is like there is a personal accountability that we have. However, we do face a bigger threat, like we were saying earlier, with the system that is, you know, having where you have a bunch of people that are just crowding up the space, but you're not giving them resources, and they don't have the means.
Do you not understand the history where you come from? If you put in a box and you oppressed and everything been taken from you, you're gonna turn on yourself. Do you not understand that?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying now. Is like, yeah, like because the resources have been removed from our homes, and you have where the families are being broken down. You have where the schools are overcrowded and they lack funding, and they getting, you know what I'm saying, educations that are like second or third class compared to people that are literally like, you know, 20 minutes outside the city. That creates a bigger problem. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you on that. That's what I'm saying. So like, and I think that's something that is like, if you look at the prison system, right? Why do you think we have, aside from people being mentally ill, and I'm just saying this broadly, like, why do we think that there's still like so much violence in the prison system, right? Because you take a bunch of people, you're giving them hardly nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're not really trying, there's not like a strong education force. There's not a strong rehabilitation program going on to help reach everybody. And you putting in the mentally sick with the people that are just, you know what I'm saying, committing nonviolent or violent crimes, and they're being treated like animals regardless. So it's like, and that's what we're seeing on the outside. You know what I'm saying? The same thing, where it's like we're being held accountable for the lack of resources that we have, when it's like, hey, at the end of the day, I still need something to make something. So like, I do agree with you on that.
It's a systemic racism. It has been built, literally mapped out to destroy you. And if you cannot understand a person burning down a window, windows goddamn insurance. If you cannot understand the anger, then I don't know what to say.
Well,
we talk about 400 years of anger.
Right. No, I don't think nobody's. I don't think nobody is arguing the burning down of the Wendy's. The point of the conversation.
Well, let me finish, Ray.
Sure, go ahead.
Let me finish. Now, nobody condoning it. No burning down no building. But you can understand the anger. Yeah. Nobody wants to see nobody burn down nothing.
Right.
Destroy nothing, because it gets us nowhere. But then you can understand the anger. I have the anger. I have the anger because I grew up in the 60s and the 70s and 80s. I grew up with my mom and daddy just began to vote. I grew up seeing my daddy get down off the sidewalk, let somebody pass.
Right.
And that's
so. Yeah. I am in that generation, the baby boomers that started this. I'm in that generation that we still abided to get somewhere, get a job, get some education, bow your head, say yes sir, say no sir.
All right, so here's I want to further. I understand, but I want to further the conversation. And I want to ask you this question: what happened to the people that were 95% African American that worked at that Wendy's? What happened to them?
They go home.
So there, so that
Wendy's will be rebuilt.
No, it will. It will be rebuilt. But I think I think that this is a part of the conversation that we were trying to have. When we have people that are in an uproar about Rayshard Brooks, as we should be, because we watch. I mean, I'm a black man. You're a black man, so we saw ourselves in him in that moment.
Right.
So, standing in solidarity with that, you still, when we're talking about Black Lives Matter win, which is the point of this segment, you have to take some accountability. We, first of all, didn't even burn the damn Wendy's down. We didn't even burn the Wendy's down. A white person burned the Wendy's down. So this ain't even black person burned the Wendy's down.
People have always took accountability. But when you are pushed in a corner and the anger, it bursts out in violent ways.
I understand what you're saying. Nobody is protesting the fact that the burning of the Wendy's is wrong. But what I'm saying is you got to think about the black lives that are now affected.
Right.
So are you telling those people that their lives don't matter because now they can't pay their bills and support their family?
We don't say that.
Okay, that's the point that we're making.
We don't say that.
But that's the point that we're making.
We don't stand for that. But
Can I say
you
something?
got to understand that when people are burst with anger and they confine and there's no way out, that is what happens.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
I think that
that is what happens. And one thing, Martin Luther King laid down his life. Malcolm X laid down his life.
Right.
Marcus Garvey, I can go on and on.
Right.
Just for change.
Right.
I think that
Here we go with Aubrey, George, Floyd, Taylor, the young lady.
Right.
And people die, they don't even know they're going to die. I think the only two people that were going to die was Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And Marcus Garvey and more is going on. But here's the thing. When you take people and you pigeonhole them, you expect that outburst. It could have been my life. It could have been my Wendy with people I can't enforce. Till America start recognizing it will repeat itself. And I don't see Logan Brooks lost his life. Wendy's, everybody got out good.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was safe. The building will be rebuilt, but Bush won't come back.
Yeah, and I think what
he will not be back.
Well, see, let's get a word in here.
Yeah, what me and Raymond are trying to express as far as like the personal accountabilities, as far as like on our end, is that so when it come down to it, so we do not disagree that burning down the buildings is a result of the anger. So we have to address the issue and not not the outcome. You know what I'm saying? However, like when we sit up here and watch somebody who's just tagging along, you talking about a random white woman, no different than how someone should have intervened when it came to all these other black people getting killed by police or whatever.
Right.
Somebody should have intervened and stopped that white girl from burning down that Wendy's. Because the thing is, we have to think about Black Lives Matter in every. We have to think about. Hold on. We have to think about. We have to think about how Black Lives Matter.
His mama lost her son.
Right.
His wife lost her husband.
But what did the Wendy's have to do with that? What I'm saying is, Black lives have to matter in every way. So it's like Black lives have to like.
I don't think you're. Hold on, Eric. Miss Celia, I don't think you're listening to us. I think it needs to have a. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about Wendy's.
Well, we spent a lot of time on that.
I did a whole episode on Rayshard Brooks.
I'm mad. He
Well, no.
This isn't an episode. Okay.
Well, can I?
Okay, I feel attacked. At this point, I feel attacked.
You don't feel attacked.
I do, and here's why I feel attacked, because you're not understanding the sentiments that we're talking about. Nobody on this podcast at any point.
You should not feel attacked.
No, I do though. I mean, how you feel, Eric?
I just want to be able to like land on this point real quick. I just want to be able to express that last point.
How you gonna feel attacked by a black woman and you go out for every?
And this is the reason why we're doing this episode. And this is the reason why I'm doing the episode.
Well, the thing is, we're trying to. Well, the thing is, we're trying to just.
That doesn't make sense.
We're just trying to have like open discussion to bring other points, because the thing is, there is. So it's like, let me just. I just got like, I swear, like 2 more sentences.
It's an unscripted show. I did not see this happen.
So the thing, what I was trying to wrap that up with saying is, the thing is, Black lives have to matter with us in every way. So it's not just, okay, when somebody is killed, we have to also be thinking about the Black lives we're impacting whenever we do something like burn down the building. Just right. Listen, hold on. When it come down to it,
brick and mortar, and not talking about Rashad Brooks, his mama, his wife, his children. I could post a cement. I can get some cement, some dirt, and make a brick building, but I can't bring back a human being.
Right.
So, well, I think
y'all better talk to me. I'm not talking. Y'all better talk.
We can't get a word in. we can't form a complete sentence. I can't believe I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss.
I mean, but the thing is, it's not that I'm upset with the fact that we're not able to get it all out. Because I mean, people are angry. You know what I'm saying? It's just
people are angry.
We have to be able to open the dialogue for every perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some truth in all of it. And the thing is, we have to strategize outside of the anger. We can respond in anger, and that's one part of it. But we have to also think about the next step and the steps that ensue from there, rather than just burn down the entire city. Because it's like, okay, yeah, we burn everything down, but like, let's just talk about something bigger than that, right? Do Black people as a collective come together and create an economic forefront so that we can rebuild? Okay, we burn down this Wendy's. Okay, do we have the money to build up our own restaurants? Are we going to support our own restaurants? Are we going to like create our own, you know what I'm saying, like economy? Yeah. So that, you know, even though we burn everything to the ground, we can resurrect something that's better, that's built off of our backs and owned by us. It's like, are we going to do that? Because we can have $1.3 trillion in spending power just in America. Right. So it's like, okay, are we going to have, like, what else? You know what I'm saying?
How are we going to mobilize that? Yeah.
Like, unless people are doing things like investing.
Are you July the 7th? Are you going to just not spend $1?
So can you ask that again? I didn't
ask that question again. We didn't hear you.
July the 7th. I hope you not patronize nobody. Keep the Black dollar in the community.
Well,
I think that should be every day.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I can't speak for every person, but I know that like myself, Raymond, and a couple of our other associates, we kind of like minded. We do that all the time.
July the 7th.
Yeah, I'm saying, but we do that every day.
So she's advocating July 7th all across the nation. Black people do not spend money at other businesses except as if they're minority owned, right? Is that your message, Celia?
Absolutely.
Okay, that is Celia's message.
That ain't my message. That ain't my message. Tell me, come up with that.
Well, that's the message that you just came out of your mouth with on the channel. So I'm saying you're expressing it to the people. So I'm just clarifying that's what you're saying. Let's say, are you what? Let's interrupt for a second. Hold a minute. We talking about multiple years of friendship here, and I didn't see any of this coming. And when I said I felt attacked, is because
what are you talking about?
your tone on the channel is argumentative, and I understand. But we can have dialogue, but both sides have to be able to share what it is that they want to say. So that's what I mean by
don't do that openly. But this is me.
No, I'm trying to get a baseline.
But you don't
I'm trying to get a baseline.
You're alive.
No, this is a live show. I'm trying to understand how we got to.
If you didn't understand the tone of my voice that I'm angry.
No, I clearly understand it. That's why I'm asking you, why are you angry with us when we're having a conversation that is a constructive conversation for the community?
Bullshit that you put out.
So you think that this conversation is bullshit?
I thought the lead in, and I think that you guys are even, it pissed me off so much. A mother is aching, a wife is aching, children. You guys even call this young man and keep repeating his name. You kept talking about Wendy's. That pissed me off.
Well, it's not the Wendy's necessarily. It's the people affected by the Wendy's. That's what we're talking about.
You know, the young man was on the phone. He did more credit to the family.
We said the same thing. We're on this channel. What are you talking about?
Why he should be shot?
Nobody made an excuse of why he should be. I don't know what show you're listening to. I don't know what show you're listening to, because I had a whole podcast about the defense of Rayshard Brooks. So don't for a moment try to paint.
You did not come hardcore with it.
What are you talking about? This show is not about Rayshard Brooks today. That's not what this show is about.
Yeah. Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing? Miss Celia, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
It's like,
go ahead.
The thing is, we've had a lot of discussions, whether it was this podcast with me and Raymond personally, or whether it was other people in other platforms that have spoken on the obvious that we are angry about another black man being killed by the police officer. At the same time, we've had a lot of these conversations already. But what I also need to say is, there's other conversations need to be had.
Right.
We can't just continuously be reaction-based people. We have to be thinking proactively and thinking, okay, what else can we do?
Who am I talking to? Raymond or who?
This is Eric. This is the friend that's on there.
Eric?
Yes, ma'am.
I just slow down a little bit and let me hear you.
Okay. So what I was let me. That's my bad. So what I was saying is, there have been, like, on this platform as well as other platforms, a lot of discussions about the anger that we all feel about Rayshard Brooks getting killed. However, we still have to be thinking proactively, because see, we've had a lot of reaction-based conversations saying, okay, yes, the police this, police that, he should have been killed. We all understand that. We understand that we as civilians can't just up and shoot somebody in the back. So why should the police be doing that? We get that part. However, we have to be thinking forward and looking at a strategic outlook with this as well. What I'm trying to say is, like, black lives have to matter on both ends, both alive and dead.
I don't know who you think you're talking to, because first of all,
I'm just talking.
I know how to stay strategic alive and keep my children, my family alive. I already know about being strategic about, keeping Black Lives Matter alive.
Right, you do. I'm saying we as a collective have to.
I don't have no problem with that. Okay.
Right. I'm saying, but we as a collective have to do that.
At what y'all was saying, it was like, this is crazy. They haven't even mentioned the young man. Y'all kept talking about Wendy. Well, I don't think he was drunk or not. It didn't matter if he was lucid drunk. Shouldn't have been killed.
Thank you, Shay, for coming on the show. I appreciate your time. I'm gonna let you go. Do you have any last thoughts you want to share with us?
Raymond?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Raymond, I can hear you. No, I do not.
All right. Well, hey, you have made your point. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna move on with the show. That was unscripted. I'll be right back. We'll take a 2-minute break. Y'all don't go anywhere. Y'all stay tuned.
Hey, what's up, family? I'm Raymond, and thank you so much for your support of New Wave Real Talk. As I said before many times, this channel is for us, by us, everything black culture. So if you're liking what you're hearing on the show, let me know by dropping a comment, smash the like button, and let me know. Also, if you're watching the show and you want to be a featured guest on the show, hit me up. The email is in the description, wherever you're finding this video, and let's bring you on. If you got something positive to share regarding black culture or just culture in general, you're welcome. You're welcome here. So know that. And I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back to the show.
Get you some water, man. Get you another
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Oh my God, I cannot. I don't know what happened right there, man. I don't know what happened. Let me make some points real quick. I do not condone the murder and shooting of Rayshard Brooks. I did a whole podcast on why Rayshard should be alive right now, should not be dead, and should be alive right now today.
Yeah, and we made those points like throughout. It's just a matter of hearing the other side, entertaining the other side. And we're talking about dual accountability.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And you got to be clear enough and be willing enough to have that conversation on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, the thing is, too many people, this is my personal opinion. I feel like a lot of times people seek confirmation bias.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we have to understand that we have to step outside of our comfort zone and also look at, the personal accountability.
Right.
That's why I was trying to make the point that Black lives have to matter both alive and dead.
Because
just like how you have Rayshard Brooks' wife and mother and kids who just lost, every identity that he is, they just lost that. You also have where every person that was Black or whoever that was working at that Wendy's, they're also going to suffer. There are also going to be mothers who all of a sudden don't have a job now. They're going to be kids who are not going to get food, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, we have right now, people can't get evicted, at least, by law.
Right.
Or by code, whatever, the temporary law. But that doesn't say anything to the light bill, to food on the table, to the water bill. And then it's like, when it comes to, just say when the 12 months is up,
your ass, you gotta go.
You gotta go, and it ain't like people hiring left and right. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be mindful of every Black person. You know what I'm saying? And until we have a standpoint that until we have an economic standpoint that protects our people, then we need to be mindful of what we're doing and how we affect each other in every way, not just burning the whole fucking country down because, you know what I'm saying, because we're angry. We've had the discussions about how, nobody's accountable for the Tulsas and the Rosewoods and all these other places around the country that were Black economic strongholds. However, we still have to be thinking more. We have to think. We might initially react out of anger, but we have to at some point begin to think
about our self-accountability and what we can do to better ourselves. Not necessarily pointing the blame. Nobody here is pointing the blame at the Black community. We ain't blamed for shit. We didn't create the world that we live in.
Right.
We just got to live under the shit. But while we're living under the shit, we got to be able to make sure our brothers and sisters know that, hey, we got to love each other.
We have to on every scale. And that's one thing that D pointed out, and I appreciate that. And there are things that we have to teach, because at the end of the day, like, that's one thing that's very toxic within our community right now is, regardless of all the bullshit we dealing with, at some point, your kids don't know that they living in bullshit initially, right? Like if you grow up in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody poor or whatever.
Right.
We just thinking it's
normal.
It's like, normal. You know what I'm saying? We don't feel that we're underprivileged. We just feeling like we just out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's like, there are still morals and ethics and values we have to teach our kids at that point, while we're also teaching them how to fight the world that also hates us.
Absolutely.
And so it's like learning how to deal with the jealousy, learning how to big up somebody who's trying to do better, instead of saying that because you're trying to do something good with your life that you talking white, or you or you
that you ain't down with the cause, blah 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 blah.
All that kind of stuff. It's like, man, we had to think about, okay, how are we building each other up? And one thing I was trying to get across too is, like, I get that she understood the other things that need to take place, but we're saying this as a collective,
for the people, the initiative, for the community, for the Black culture.
Because it don't mean shit if it's just me and my household.
Right. And that's how we got into so many different things, is because of me and my household. That mentality of me and my family gonna make it out the hood.
Right.
Your ass gonna be, hey, listen, you gonna be stuck up in this mud. But no, that has to change. We gotta bring everybody along.
And the niggas who ain't trying to move, leave them behind. It's
Get off.
I ain't trying to say every Black person. At the same time, those who ready,
let's go.
All
right, moving. Man, can't
so
make
much more
this
that had to be said
up, guys. And let me state for the record. Celia, I absolutely love her. I don't know where it's coming from, and that's why I said that we needed to end the segment, because I don't know where it's coming from. But I mean, she's been very loyal to me. She's been very, very good friends to me. So that's why you guys can watch my expression on the camera. You I'm like, what the? I mean, my wife came downstairs. I'm like,
I think it's just that sometimes, the thing is, once again, going back to things we have to be taught on a human level, is that when we have these very volatile emotions, we have to learn how to handle them.
Right.
We have to learn how to still kind of deal with the checks and balances with ourselves emotionally and logically.
Right.
So that we don't act completely out of anger. We let the anger motivate us, but we still have to have an open ear instead of just being a charging bull. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because then if we're a charging bull, we make ourselves an easy target.
Right.
And so
100%.
That's what's happening with everything else. When it comes to the politics, when it comes to these businesses that's pandering and all this other kind of nonsense, or the overtures, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a pandering tactic.
Right.
But we have to step outside of the emotional volatility and learn how to say, okay, it's okay that I'm angry. It's okay that we did what we did as far as burning shit down. However, we had to start thinking about what else. We have to think about how else we matter to us.
Right.
And hold these other motherfuckers accountable, because they cannot be up here doing this bullshit in our name. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, y'all don't go anywhere. Y'all don't go anywhere. I got one more thing I want to do. I want to show you why I do what I do and why I started this channel. I don't make no money doing this, but it's because I want to make sure my people understand different perspectives. And it was created to think out loud. So I'm going to tell you my why. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
So I created New Wave Real Talk because I saw a void when it came to podcasts that featured conversations that I would have with my wife or my friends. So that is the way New Wave Real Talk came about. Well, I hope that New Wave Real Talk will continue to grow and that we will be able to spread the message of Black culture, spreading positivity throughout our communities across the United States. I mean, at the end of the day, we all have to do our part. And I think that this is my commitment to sharing my time to promote things that are for the advancement of our people. So that is why I do it, and that's why I will continue to do it. I believe that our society promotes things that they want to be a reality, right? So, you see certain TV shows on because that TV show's message is what that greater plan wants people to see or think. So why not you? Why not me? Why not create a space that's unique for yourself? And that's what we're doing here at New Wave Real Talk. Yeah.
Hope y'all like that, man.
I like it. I like it.
That was real. That was from the heart, y'all. That was from the heart.
Oh, so it wasn't scripted. It was just like a.
No, it was.
All right.
Yeah, it was like, hey,
I'm fucking with it.
Yeah, this is why. This is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna rock out. Let's talk about a young activist down in Jacksonville. Was it Jacksonville? Yep. No, Tallahassee. Murdered, man.
Olu, was it
Olu? I'm not gonna botch it.
Oluwatoyin.
Yes, Toyin. She goes by Toyin. Toyin Salu. I think it's Salu.
Yeah.
Murdered, found hanging from a tree, man. I mean, doing the thing that we all should be doing, using her voice to affect change, being passionate about a cause, treating people with respect.
Right.
So I got the timeline, and this goes in context with Black Lives Matter. When her life mattered, she wasn't murdered by a white man.
Has that been confirmed?
Let's go through it.
It's speculated.
It's as of right now, it is speculated. It's alleged.
Okay.
They have a suspect arrested. Last name is Glee. He was arrested on May 29th. Before, but let me go down. So basically, let me paint the story for y'all who don't know what happened. So basically, this young lady was 19 years old. She was an activist who took part in protests. She went missing on June 6th. Sims, a retired state worker and community volunteer, had been missing since June 11th. So her and this 75-year-old lady was found at the same time. So on Monday, the police identified Aaron Glee Jr., 49, as a suspect in the homicides. Glee had been arrested twice over the past few weeks on a battery charge before police found the body The timeline traces moments in case leading up to both individuals' death. And investigation continues right now. So basically, he was arrested on June 29th with a battery charge. June 6th, Toyin tweeted about a sexual assault that had happened to her. In a series of tweets on the afternoon of June 6th, Salute talked about a black man who molested her that day. And she said that the man offered her a ride to a church where she had been staying. Now, I believe she was homeless.
Okay.
I believe she was homeless. She tweeted about it that she escaped the man, but wearing his clothes because all her belongings were at the church that she was staying at. She said she called the police, but couldn't locate the man's house again because of her vision problem. She had vision issues.
Okay.
So she couldn't see that well. She said he was in his mid-40s, lived in a gray painted duplex apartment style house, drives a white, clean Silverado truck. On the same day, online, the county court record showed a misdemeanor battery charge was filed against Glee Jr. On June 9th, Toyin sought emergency shelter. According to the Kearney Center, Salute arrived at the homeless shelter at 9:30 p.m. that night. The facility is closed because of the coronavirus, but shelter people's elsewhere, so they don't let them stay in the shelter, but they find them a place to go. Salute was given a phone number for a case manager who could help her seek shelter. She called an Uber soon after and left the area. The Kearney Center said it has no record of Salute reaching out to the case manager, so I guess she didn't call. She didn't follow up.
Okay.
And then June 9th, police posted a missing persons report about her. June 13th, the missing persons report for Vicky Sims was posted on social media, posted by someone from the Tallahassee Police Department. And bear with me, guys. I'm trying to paint this story and we're going to talk about it. June 13th, missing person report for Vicky Sims. So I guess Vicky Sims is another person who was murdered as well. Her home was about a mile from the area where Salute said her sexual assault happened on June 6th. So this close proximity was definitely a thing. And she was 75 years old, Miss Sims, Victoria Sims. June 13th, police find body of Salute and Sims together. 15 minutes after police tweeted about the Sims authority found her body and Salute body on the property of Glee's rental home in Tallahassee.
Okay.
That was a lot.
All right. So I know I've said it before that I'm not Christian or that, but shout out to the Black church for, letting people seek refuge, you know what I'm saying, when they need some place to stay. I really do think that's a big thing. That's what the church need to be. You know what I'm saying? That's what church is for. At least one thing,
Absolutely.
Right. But buddy,
I mean
it's like you pretty much like I can't unsee any like reasonable doubt,
right?
Or not reasonable doubt. I can't unsee any reason to suspect that Buddy was the one that did it. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like
right, because how did their body get on your property? Now, but why? I mean, there's a lot of things you can ask, right? I mean, he could have been set up. Well, but yeah. He already had these charges and all this. But also what is very interesting, they had, let me see here. So Glee was arrested on May 29th on charges of aggravated battery after an officer spotted him kicking a woman in the stomach. According to the police records, the victim told the police that the two of them had been drinking. Glee propositioned her for sex. She told him no, so Glee became angry, shoved her to the ground, and began kicking her in the abdomen. Abdomen. There you go. Thank you, co-host.
I got you, bro.
There you go. So I mean, now let's just break this thing down for a minute. I don't want to get too deep into like the guilty or not guilty, but I just want to paint the picture. We got a black sister, murdered allegedly by a black brother,
right?
That has a history of
violent crimes. And,
right. So, her life mattered,
right? And like, I don't want to try to make too much light of the situation, but you know what I thought about when you said when you were describing all that stuff. Because I've never heard these details until just now. And this is mainly because I've just gotten to the point where whatever. We ain't finna go into that. Anyway, so I thought about like when villains on like Batman and whatever else they got lead, they calling card, or they, you know what I'm saying, like how the Joker leave a card saying like this is the Joker. It's like
a trophy.
Right. It almost feel like it was like some kind of bullshit like way around doing that, where it's like, okay, instead of me leaving my calling card, I'm gonna hang her because from, you know what I'm saying, so that way it looks like a white person
or somebody else, playing into.
Like, but don't get me wrong though, it could have been a white person, and it's like they just saw opportunity because people are plugged in. I mean, you do have where obviously when KKK, you know what I'm saying, take off their hoods, they put on police uniforms,
right?
And so it's like it could have very well been somebody who was plugged in, and it's like, okay, they don't like what's going on, and they and I'm really playing devil's advocate with this,
right?
So it's like they could have been like, okay, I see this chick doing this talking or whatever. I know she's been up at the station, she done filed reports, blase. I see I see that she's, you know what I'm saying, also part of this Black Lives Matter cause on this disruption or whatever in our city. So it could have been, you know what I'm saying, an opportune moment. You know what I mean? Right. Like that's no different than how the Panthers were taken down. That's no different than how a lot of other people who have been taken down, like Malcolm X, whoever else, where it's like they just find the right guy to handle it, but they don't handle it themselves, or they just find enough, you know what I'm saying, things to cover them up. So it's like that dude could have very well never even seen her after that situation, but it's like, hey, we got somebody who we can pin it on though.
Right.
I mean, like I don't know if y'all saw what's that movie? I want to say it's called Gridlock with Tupac Shakur. And I forgot buddy's name, but Tupac and old dude, they were police officers, and so like they had ended up committing a crime. I think they killed somebody, and so they had to pin it on somebody. So they were just like trying to find any and everybody that they could to like pin this murder on, knowing that they were the ones that did it. And I hope it was a murder. I'm hoping I'm not speaking incorrectly or whatever.
Right.
But it was like it was so bad to the point where they had a homeless man say he did it. They pretty much got him drunk and all that kind of stuff. They coerced him, or they bribed him into saying he did it. And then they had where I want to say it was the other dude, not Tupac's girl, but the white dude. I think it was his girl. It was one of their girlfriends or just somebody that they knew. Had where she said that she witnessed Buddy kill the dude.
Right.
And then didn't even tell her the whole story. It's like, hey, I just need you to roll with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So people will do that kind of stuff. It's like we can't doubt what the enemy
it's
will
not
do, you know
it's not completely unfathomable. But let's talk a little bit about this too. What do you feel about, because what I've been seeing on social media is a couple different things. I've been seeing a lot about sisters talking about the fact that the brothers aren't stepping up to defend them, to protect them. I think that's a serious conversation. How do you feel about that?
So it's a couple things with that. So
now sure.
One, I'm trying. We
got a lot of things to get into today.
Seriously. So like one, just paraphrasing it, we'll say the details. I think that just the same as how the black man or the black people have to work twice as hard to do good in America. It goes the same when it comes to protecting our people. You know, so we have to work twice as hard. We have to work against ourselves as far as our personal, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we're fighting two enemies. We're the only people that's fighting two enemies.
Right.
Really all enemies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As well as ourselves. Also, I think that what black women are experiencing, black women are just tired. You know what I'm saying? You have where black women and this ain't saying that all women are, you know, like we got some that ain't shit, but you know, generally speaking,
you gonna get me? I already got cussed out today.
Look. Hey, bring it to me. But like real talk, like so you have where some of them, generally speaking, I think you have a lot of black women who dealt with this era of over decades, where it's like black men have gone through like a mental and psychological retardation, because you had where a lot of us are being killed, a lot of us being in prison. So it's like, you know, you got a lot of boys that are being brought up
without that guidance,
men come out of prison without that. And then you got where these women are still growing up. These women are still tired. They're still stressed. And so they see like a physical body of a man, but it's a child mentally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking for every guy's case. I'm just saying that as far as the disconnect is concerned, and as far as the guys that are like acting out in these ways that they shouldn't, in a lot of cases, I feel like that's what's being perpetuated is this child's mentality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't know how to respond to different situations. They don't know how to just be, because they didn't have that guidance. And black women are expecting men out of boys, but because they still see the man. You know what I'm saying? Because they've still had to progress, and they looking for somebody to support them. They're looking for somebody to, like, you know, be the man that they need. But they
all my brothers,
these, you know what I'm saying?
All my brothers is watching this podcast, man. Share this with any brother that you know. We got to make sure we're protecting.
We got to
our women. I mean, we both got daughters.
We do.
And if anything, you know, think about that when you're treating when you're interacting with our queens. Just understand that you got to put respect on it. I mean, what kills me so much is you seeing back in the day when we were growing up, man, we would see it all the time. You know, kind of hollering at a chick.
Yeah.
And we looked at, the world, society, some of Black culture wanted you to think that it was just hollering at a chick. But in reality, it was mad disrespectful.
Yeah. In a lot of cases. And it happens on every scale, but we have to be twice as good about those practices.
Checking it.
And
raising our sons, we both got sons, raising our sons to respect.
Yeah. See women as people.
Yeah, and not objects,
not
right?
As objects.
Exactly.
That should be your friend, not automatically. You should be trying to smash.
Exactly.
We have to treat it the same way we would treat our daughters, or at least to some degree. And I think that because really, you have a lot of us males who, aside from those of us who have really solid dads or role models, whatever else, those of us who are like who are thrown into that lost sauce of people that were fatherless or people that were dealing with broken men, right? There were only so few of us that actually got out of that conditioning, you know what I'm saying, and realized like, okay, well, this is how I need to go about treating ladies or whatever, treating my sisters, you know what I'm saying,
right?
And not seeing somebody else as the trophy,
right? And I think that's where too we can kind of talk about that message of women and parents raising young boys when they have siblings that are close in age, where we gotta you gotta check your children. There will be sibling rivalry, but you got to make sure that your son understands that it's his place to honor and respect his sister. Because it starts right there.
And it does go both ways. You know what I'm saying? We have to understand that we can have all our personal issues within the household, but when we step outside of here, should nobody else be able to put their hands on you,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's what and I also want to shout out to any. But I'm like, if that girl got a decent dad in her life, there's a Black man that cares about her. There's a Black man that's protecting her. I'm sure that there's plenty of people on social media like sending them niggas address right now.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
it's like, well, listen, we don't advocate it. No black on black crime.
We're not advocating that. I'm just saying, as far as like Black men protecting Black women,
your own.
I'm almost certain that there are Black men out there that are ready and willing to protect her after they saw that video. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I think it's more of us that are willing to will lay down our lives for our women. But we just got to make sure that we keep it in the forefront,
right?
To keep it first frame of thought.
Exactly.
That says, hey, keep your damn hands to yourself,
right?
And I mean, because you ain't gonna get no real woman like that anyway,
right?
You ain't gonna get nobody that's worth getting.
Oh, but just like you said, to keep it on the forefront, just like how the police,
camera right here, by.
Look, let me shout out to the just like how we should, make sure the police keep on the forefront, preserve life at all costs.
Right.
That's just what it is.
Right.
Preserve life at all costs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's it.
So the same way we should be thinking about, putting our hands on people.
Right. Right. Hey. Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right. Well, I surely hope that Torlin gets the justice that Toyin get the justice that she deserves. We're going to keep her in our thoughts, in our prayers, because she was out there doing good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, we gotta keep up with everybody and make sure that we respect everybody. So speaking of, you threw out a word, overture. I think you threw out that word out there. You just kind of threw it out there. But Black overtures, man, how do you feel about that right now? We are getting, when I say we, I guess we say we're part of the community.
Yeah.
Black folks, y'all getting a bachelor, man. We getting a bachelor. We get a Black bachelor.
So
how do you feel about that?
Well, we kind of spoke on that last time, lightly, saying that it's a lot of pandering going on. And, I wish that these institutions, these companies, whatever we're going to title it as, would respect Black intellectual or the Black intellectual. You know what I'm saying? Or at least respect Black intellectual potential. Because I find it to be just bullshit. The thing is, like, you have what you have is people are doing things that are of no consequence, Right. The company that I most recently worked for, that I'm leaving within the next month and a half. I know just a few years ago they could not wear a Black Lives Matter pin. Black Lives Matter was an extremist organization. It was whatever else, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we could not rep that. Now all of a sudden, Black Lives Matter. It's of no consequence to hop on the bandwagon and say Black Lives Matter. It's of no consequence for these companies to just, you know, say, oh yeah, we'll let you do this and the other. And I think that's what's happening with on every level of it.
Right.
It's no, like, what tangible consequences are, you know what I'm saying? Like, they doing whatever's gonna work in their favor, because see, they know we keep pissing these people off, they might burn my shit down there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Right. To some extent, I'm okay with that.
Right. I think many people are happy, but I think the majority ain't with it. I think that most of us can see through the bullshit.
And I hope that's the case, because that's really what it is. It's just people doing, like, bro, like, them politicians look goofy as hell with them kente cloth.
Let's not even regress on that. I mean, that's something. But I advocate on my channel, last couple podcasts, is listen, man, if you are voting for anybody, they better not have been in office for the last 25 years and ain't done a doggone thing.
Yeah. And that was a good point that you mentioned. I'm glad that that's another sentiment that we share, because I mean, it's like, bro, like,
it's crazy.
That shows the lack of respect for your mind that they have. They see you as a resource, and they see it no different than how 3/5 slaves worked out for slave masters in the South. Why? Because you still had the population. It was pretty much, you're not going to be a full person to be able to act on your own and have the same rights that I have, but we're going to make it 3/5 because it still benefits us.
Right.
And it benefits everybody else too. You know what I'm saying? Because we still got the numbers for voting.
Right.
We still got numbers for
it's a mess, man.
Not necessarily, for congressional related matters. Let me say that.
So and here's the thing too with the Black Bachelor. Here's what I'll say. I don't want people to listen to this podcast and be like, damn, man, Black culture, you can't even please Black folks. That's not what we're advocating. But I think it's all in which, you know how your mama, you know, like when you was growing up, there were certain things you just, you couldn't say.
Right.
Because no matter how you said it, it was just the way it sounded just wasn't right.
Right.
It's like not what you say is, but how you say it.
Right.
It's kind of like this with the Black Bachelor. It's not the fact that people are angry that, you know, you're finally getting a Black Bachelor. It's like how you did it. You pick now.
Right.
The most I'm not gonna say the most, because we've had a lot of racial tension in this country, but at present moment, under the most strenuous and contentious point as far as race relations, now you say we got a Black Bachelor. Under all of that, that's how you reveal this man.
Yeah.
Now he gotta carry the burden and carry the weight of all of this.
Right.
This just happens every time.
Yeah. And I think that the thing is, it's nothing wrong with Black people being put out there now, you know what I'm saying, seen in a less threatening light.
Right.
It's like, it's good symbolic victories. It's good symbolic things, because you got kids that don't really understand the entirety of what's going on, but they see the subliminal stuff. They see the movies, they see the TV shows, whatever else. But my thing is, we have to just be able to see it as entertainment.
Right.
And that's that. We see it as entertainment. We can entertain it, but we have to understand who we're entertaining and what that's doing for them. And it's like, hey, if they're going to use us for their numbers, like, figure out how we can use them.
Exactly.
You know,
and here's the thing about the Black Bachelor too. What that I want to mention: the first Black Bachelorette, Rachel Lindsay, she actually came out and basically called out the producers for showcasing her as an angry Black female.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, when she didn't curse, she wasn't screaming, she wasn't yelling, but because she didn't agree, or because that's the narrative that they wanted to paint towards her, she's now an angry Black female.
Wow. Okay.
So she's been calling out the Bachelor franchise for a while and just saying that if you're gonna, now her message is, if you're gonna, have this Black Bachelor, I think his name is Matt James, if I'm not mistaken. If you're gonna have him, make sure your producers don't typecast him like you've done every other Black person that's been on the show.
Right.
They make the Black people look like we just freaking psychotic.
The same as they always have. And it's like, I mean, clearly just in the conversations that we've had tonight with all of the guests, there are different types of us. You know, that's why I like the show Insecure a lot.
Right.
HBO with Issa Rae.
Right.
It's because she shows Black people, she depicts Black people, well, her and the people that and the other writers.
Right.
They depict Black people in a way that is the common experience for a lot of Black people. It's like a lot of us just out here just chilling, just trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Trying to freaking live, man.
Get it going, and we still got our pride in our people or whatever. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? We got our slang, we got jobs, we got pursuits and whatnot. We ain't out here trying to sell dope and shit. We got connects in different industries or whatever. Like, that's what I love about that show is like she depicts us in a way that we just are on a large scale that does not get acknowledged because it's always the drug dealer, the football player,
the rapper,
the upcoming rapper, whatever else.
Right,
nothing against people that's doing that. It's just
It's just that hey, we're more to it than that. So absolutely. I mean, like I said, I do wish him well, and I hate that. The Bachelor franchise have now given him this burden to carry to in this particular time. But I pray to God that he's able to, man up and wear it and do as well. Yeah. I'm definitely in his corner as a black brother. Yeah. I support him. I want him to do good. But Bachelor franchise, make sure y'all don't typecast dude.
Please, bro. Please.
Treat him right. Treat him right.
Brother, man.
You know what I mean? So, we're talking about black overtures. If you're just now tuning into the broadcast, talking about black overtures and gestures that mainstream society is now giving towards the black culture. So we talked about the Black Bachelor, canceling of cops. I'm with canceling of cops. I'm a little disappointed, to be honest with you, on Live PD.
Yeah,
because I thought Live PD was dope.
Hey, then they have my daughter's mom is the one that was telling me about this, but I think it was APD. I don't know which one it was. So let me not misquote. But there was like a huge walkout because I guess a lot of police officers.
Yeah, it was. It was Atlanta Police Department. There was a lot of different agencies that are now basically. And here's the sentiments. How can you be a police officer and quit because now you can't openly kill black people?
Exactly. How does you just identified yourself at that point?
Exactly, and you need to be gone. You need to quit. I don't think we need to advocate keeping any of them other lovers that don't want to be there. You know what I mean? Let them go, man. You literally say, I'm gonna walk off my job because I can't openly kill black people and get away with it. Right. What kind of bull crap is that?
And it's like you can't why are you upset with us for saying that you should just not kill us, please? Like, you gonna tase me? You gonna tase me, bro? Tase me, bro. But it's like we got a history of thousands of lynchings. We got histories of thousands of businesses and stuff being burned down. Like, think about this now.
Right.
For every lynching alone, because this stuff didn't happen because a black person committed crimes. It's like, okay, let's be real with it, right? And I'm gonna just so it's a little history.
Go ahead.
I'm going more now.
Go ahead, my brother.
So one thing that Miss Celia mentioned, right, was when she said the whole having to walk off step off the sidewalk when the white person was passing by.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a Jim Crow law, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you had the Jim Crow laws pretty much was a bunch of arbitrary ass, informal ass laws that and they weren't real laws. It's like people could get hemmed up over anything, right?
However they was feeling in that moment,
right? How they was feeling in that moment. But one of the main let's start with all the bullshit. Let's not even go into the bullshit. Like, okay, you can't count your changes from the white person. You can't call a white person a lie. You know, all that kind of stuff. You can't have a weapon. It's so many things. The whole you can't talk to a white person without taking a hat off. Whatever else, right?
Can't look him in the eye.
Can't look him in the eye. All that kind of shit. But one of the things that would happen is shit. What was I gonna say with that? Oh yeah. So with the Jim Crow, black people would get lynched. Like that was one of those things. Like a white person was seen as a sign of authority. Like you know what I'm saying. So it's almost like how people do the whole like citizens arrest type bullshit, right? So they would look at any black person, which this was also a Jim Crow law. You can't have a better house or a better car than any of these neighboring white people. So they will find any reason to find any black person that was doing economically doing better than them, and they just say, "Oh yeah, this black man, owed me $5 and he ain't paid me back," some shit like that.
Right.
All of a sudden, he getting lynched. They dragging his body through the white neighborhoods and the black neighborhoods because they trying to send a message to everybody, right?
Right.
And then it's like, now think about this. Now, if you got thousands of them taking place, how many potential business owners, politicians, decent politicians, when I say politicians,
right,
actors, entertainers of whatever sort, musicians, all that kind of stuff, scientists, engineers, how many of them never got, the opportunity to be who they were truly gonna be? How many legacies were cut short, due to that? You're talking about thousands of people.
Yep.
And that's just the lynchings. We ain't talking about the actual people that was, doing the slave labor.
Right. Yeah, the police, man, the people that are walking out, man, good riddance. Get the hell out. I mean, period. I mean, that's just the sentiments. But like I said, canceling of cops, and a lot of people, are thinking and you may be one of those people that are watching, like, okay, what does cops got to do with, us? Here's what cops got to do with us. When you, as a white person, put yourself in the white person's shoes for a moment, even though we don't get that luxury. They get the luxury to put themselves in the black person's shoes.
And I still be black again. So I don't give a fuck.
So, but let's just try to put ourselves in their shoes for a moment. When you turn on the TV, if you are a person that looked at, a constant watcher of cops, and you watch that show adamantly, you're gonna see nothing but black people as criminals.
Yeah.
If your kid grew up watching cops, guess what they're gonna think? All black people are criminals.
But then you'll have where somebody will go and throw out a statistic saying that more white people are killed by blacks. I mean, more white people are killed by cops than black people.
That's the
and
most
it's like,
bullshit
shit.
statistic.
I can't tell based off of the symbolism. I mean, off what the media portrays, because that still matters. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what I would say to anybody that try to pull that. Black folks, we're only 15%, 13.
Yeah.
Okay. See, and that's another thing. Why can't we just get to the same damn consensus on the number? Because when I checked the CDC, it was 15.2%.
It might be 15.2.
Now, why is it so hard for us to have a damn accurate count in this country?
Man, look, it's so much systematic shit, and I hate to make systematic almost like jargon that we could be saying it so much, but all right. So just generalizing it.
We'll say some say 13%, others say 15%. So it's somewhere in between 13 and 15%. But we're the most developed country in the world, but we don't know how many black people here. But I digress. When you look at that and you look at the numbers of how many people are killed by race in the hands of cops, you cannot compare African Americans to white people. That's like comparing a damn grape to a watermelon. They are the majority in this country. So if the numbers was 235 whites and 150 blacks, look at the percentage disparity per capita. I mean, you're talking about, you can't even compare that. I mean, that's not even and that's not even a legitimate argument. It's not fair. It's imbalanced, it's idiotic, and it's just downright disrespectful.
And it's also not acknowledging every case, you know what I'm saying? Just like how I saw another one talking about
because they don't want to acknowledge that. If you look at the legal system, the criminal justice, when you look at point system that they got, if you commit this crime and he commit that crime, the sentencing, I mean, nobody want to nobody in this country, I don't give a damn how intelligent you are, how articulate you are, you will never win that conversation because it's you can't win it.
Right. I mean,
on the other side.
And that's like, that's not the only example. That's just one layer of the same onion. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's absolutely right. We covered that on the last episode, that none of this is one issue nor one solution. Is all a combination.
What I meant in that case, just make sure I'm clear, is like, just seeing, like, let's say with the drugs, right? How a black man crime is worth 5-10 times more than the white crime, right? That's just one instance of how this is reflected in every other way. Because see, one thing that a lot of people don't talk about too is, like, if you got where it's more white people getting killed by cops, well, look at just the typical white person's interaction with cops, how they look at cops. White people don't typically see cops as a threat in the same regard that, or at the same extent that, or the same attitude that black people do. Generally speaking. You know what I'm saying? So, because I've never felt comfortable around police.
Right. I mean, for the average person, I mean, even if you 100% legit, you got everything in order, as soon as a cop get behind you, your damn heart skip a beat.
Right. And
I mean, that's just because of the interaction, because of the trauma that stems from police officers.
Right. So you could have where more white people, let's say, are actually getting killed by police, but it's like, when we look at the interactions that are like, when you got, man, I posted some stuff on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no way this guy could have been black and got away with this shit.
Right.
I commend the officer for not actually killing the guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that the white officer or any officer who doesn't kill that doesn't kill somebody. I'm not saying that
nobody needs to die.
Nobody should have to die. But it's like, damn, like Chris Rock said, you would think they would kill some more white people every now and then the media will put it out just so it seems like it's fair. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean,
right. Well,
got tired of the same thing, man.
Well, our president Donald Trump, some people would say he ain't my president. I mean, he's the president of the country, but Donald Trump, I want to talk about his health for a minute, y'all. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw Donald Trump coming down the ramp recently at the graduation over at, I think it was West Point, the military academy. He was at the graduation of the cadets there, and oh boy, Ballard could walk down the ramp, man. Like he couldn't keep his balance. Now again, he's 74 years old, so I mean, I don't know what too many people expect from him as far as his health. I mean, he's old as hell, but at the same time, he is a person too. I don't know what the hell he might be. Donald Trump might be knock-kneed. He got a lot of damn ailments. But so when I looked at it, I looked at the fact that, you know, when he was trying to walk down that ramp, God bless his heart, he just couldn't do it. In 2017, I saw in January where the Prime Minister Theresa May, the former Prime Minister Theresa May, I think what country is it? The Prime Minister, y'all Google. I think it's Germany.
I want to say Prime Ministers, and you got. Oh wait, I think Germany's got like a chancellor or something, or maybe that's another position.
Well, way, Theresa May, I think it's in European Prime Minister Theresa May. She's in one of those damn countries over there. Excuse my ignorance for the moment. I ain't prepared for that. But anyway, she had to help him down the stairs in January 2017. Literally, they're now saying, people are saying that he is afraid of stairs. Well, he has a phobia.
I don't know too many 70-year-olds who haven't been actively taking care of their body that aren't afraid of stairs. You know what I'm saying?
But Donald Trump, apparently to him, he has the best health that any president will ever have.
And that it's like, look, if you believe that shit, I got a beach in Idaho. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. I got a mansion in Turks and Caicos I like to sell you.
That's possible.
You know. So his rally is tomorrow. People have started camping out for the last night or two. There was one lady on the news in Ohio that says she had been, this is her 36th rally in 19 different states. So think about that for a minute, y'all. That's one right there. And it's one woman. So when people that we know of, and so when you start looking at Donald Trump supporters, man, I mean, that's why I be telling folks, that man, I don't see what the hell they see in him. They may see themselves, like David Chappelle said. We're gonna get there. Yeah, they see themselves. That's why they support him. But anyway, so she 36 rallies, 19 different states.
That's serious. I mean, because I ain't gonna lie, when I saw which another kind of pandering thing that I saw. But anyway, when I saw like a list of potential vice president candidates for Biden, it was a bunch. It was like, from the point that I saw, it was only women. And obviously half of them are black, and I was like, okay, well, I still kind of see it as a little bit of pandering or whatever to try to reel in the women.
Well, you know, they are on Biden's rear end. He came out himself and said that he's gonna have a female candidate. So that
and I think that's just a way to reel in some more people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we live in a world that influence and yeah, I'll just say influence. If you do stuff that gather the influence, you win. Right? I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie to you. When I saw Keisha Lance's bottoms, now I'm like,
Keisha.
Hey,
I'm gonna say that'd be the.
I might just vote for him for real. Like,
I think that would be the biggest come up for any political person of office.
Yeah,
to go from mayor to the vice president of the United
States. And man, it's one of those things. But I really hope that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I really hope she's selected. And if she is, it's like when I don't want to see Keisha leave Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's
I wish her well in whatever happens.
It's like when those.
I think she'll be a good vice president.
Hey, you get up there, man. Like, just please, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, remember, you know what I mean? Remember Southwest Atlanta.
Please, you know,
just remember Southwest.
Remember where you came from. Remember the people like you. You know what I mean?
Even though she graduated from Dub, but we still, you know what I mean?
Right, like you know, we that's an in the house issue. You know what I'm saying? But we don't hold you down outside of the house.
We on the same side of town. We on the same side of town. But so Trump rally is tomorrow, y'all, and he ain't having these people wear masks, man. Like there are no masks are not mandatory. Social distancing is not mandatory.
Man, Trump trying to kill his damn self, man, because he's gonna be out there shaking hands, and it's like, bro, like,
and he already can't walk.
Understand how viruses work, please. Like,
right?
Just learn a little bit about microbiology.
Right. It's amazing, man. Neurologically, I mean, out of all the things that I just don't know how he's still sane after his presidency. I mean, Donald Trump really has to be really like psychotic, like to get through his own administration.
I think when you don't give a fuck, it's easy to let just go. You know what I mean? And it seemed like he kind of learned it seemed like he kind of was learning as he went.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, for sure he was
probably
learning
ain't nearly as stressed. And it's like, bro, at the end of the day, I don't care. Like, as far as y'all know, I'm rich. I'm a billionaire. So like when I leave here, he probably ain't even spending the night in the White House most of the time.
Probably
like,
not.
Bro, that man does not care.
Right.
Like that's 100%. Why he say what he say, because he doesn't have to be politically correct. He 100%. Don't have to care about what's going on.
Absolutely. Well, so as you know, the rally is tomorrow, but going into my second thought, local businesses are already starting to close down in Tulsa. You know what they ready for?
Yeah.
They ready for action. So Quick Trip is one of those businesses.
Oh, damn, not the Quick Trip.
Quick Trip done boarded up in Tulsa because they ready. Now, there was a guy on the news in Tulsa that is a part of Black Lives Matter. And I feel like I gotta say this. I feel like there's an urge for me to say this. I support Black Lives Matter.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that there's more investigation necessary as far as like the idea of us just saying that we matter.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but I am curious
as far as the backdrop and the inner workings of that organization and who's doing what. I don't know all of those details, but I do know that my fucking Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, and that's the main thing I care about. Like, because even when it came to the post, it's like this isn't a Black Lives Matter movement, but it's a Black Lives Matter movement. You know, it's not an organization based movement, but if the organization is involved, then we would.
But when most people say it, it's because we believe that our freaking Black Lives matter.
It's just an easy thing to say. It's no different than saying just Black Power and none of that other stuff.
Right.
And I mean, because I'm very, and I need to do my due diligence with this. I wouldn't know where all this money. People saying I'm donating $1 million or 10 million or whatever to BLM or to whatever other Black related thing. I'm like, well, what are they doing with this money? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I do have my suspicions about Black Lives Matter. I just haven't devoted the time to actually investigate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What's really going on with the organization?
Right, the inner workings. Well, hey, y'all, we're going to catch a quick break, give ourselves a little time. We got a lot more show left for you, so don't go anywhere. Y'all stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Hey, you're listening to New Wave Real Talk. We will be right back. But before we come back, I want to drop something on you real fast. Go ahead and let me know how you're liking the show. If you are watching via Facebook, go ahead and start a watch party. It's not too late. We're probably just beginning the show. So go ahead and start a watch party. Let your friends and family know to come in and get in on this conversation. So I appreciate it in advance. And we'll be right back with more of the show. So don't go anywhere. Don't leave.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We needed to stretch out a little bit, you know what I mean? You sitting in the chair for 1 hour and 1 hour and 40 minutes and counting so far on the air. So we had to get a little break to stretch here. But
we're getting the Joe Rogan podcast numbers now.
You know? Hey, I'm telling you, we're gonna get that, man. We're gonna get that one day. But so Quick Trip done boarded up in Tulsa. They already ready for the counter protest that's been scheduled for tomorrow at 5:00.
Yeah.
Now, it's about to be some mess in Tulsa.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So what I'm most concerned about, man, is Black Wall Street Gallery, which is a museum of our history,
right,
from the burning of Black Wall Street.
Right.
They better have security at that building.
Like, get your ARs. I am a strong advocate for being a gun owner.
Right.
Get you
absolutely
some ARs. You know what I'm saying?
They better
make
not.
sure that you proficient with your shit.
Right. You better be a dang on good marksman, because I'm telling you right now, if we hear that they done burned down that place,
I might have to make a trip to Tulsa.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, because that right there is off limits.
And I ain't trying to just flat out put a target on my back. But like at the same time, bro.
So then we roll up. That's those two dudes from New Wave.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, bro, like we have to be thinking full scope, you know what I'm saying, full spectrum with this. And I mean, look, even if you ain't good with your shit as far as shooting, you just have a gun. A gun you can have where there's no magazine in it or no rounds in it. It's a deterrent. Just aim like that's the I don't know if that's the scariest shit in the world to have be looking down a barrel.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's not a good place.
Like I feel the burn,
right?
You know what I'm saying, without the bullet even hitting me.
Right, it's not a good place to be. You don't want to be on that side of the spectrum. So y'all just pray for Tulsa, man. All of Black culture, Black America. Let's go ahead and tonight, let's go ahead and start sending up our prayers for harmony, for peace. Because that place in Tulsa cannot be touched. If it is, I think that's a declaration of war.
Yeah.
Now this is just my opinion. Now I'm just telling you my opinion. All right, we're gonna end the show tonight with a man that, you know, I respect so much, man. This man is like one of the greatest comedians of all time. I'm not saying but one of the greatest comedians of all time, Dave Chappelle.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what's your thoughts on that, man? How did you like the special?
I love the fact that Dave Chappelle has always been unapologetically like, bro, I don't give a fuck. I'm not conforming. I'm not about to just conform to that narrative that y'all want. I'm not finna just do what you want me to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do because I'm straight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He actually something I want to actually say about him. I think it was in that Oprah interview. He said something along the lines of fame can take you places where your character can't keep you. And that might not be exact, but it's something along them lines. And I feel like he's been one person to really uphold that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And
even if that meant stepping away.
Exactly. It's like
reevaluating.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like there's nothing wrong with people just saying, you know what, now isn't the time for me to speak.
Right.
Or just saying, I know y'all came here thinking it's going to be all labs. There was probably about a good 3 or 4 labs at the most.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he really said, hey, I know I can get some people to gather around. I got something to say that can, you know what I'm saying? And I love the way he illustrated how, because first I was like, where's he about to go?
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah,
if you have not watched Dave Chappelle 8 minutes and 46 seconds special on YouTube,
stop watching now.
Stop watching because we about to tear it up.
So I love the way he illustrated this, because first I was like, where is he going with it? When he talked about the whole earthquake situation.
Right. And
he was just like, you know, that 30-something seconds was like the most terrifying of my life.
Right.
And then really just using that as like
the backdrop.
The relative gauge for like, bro, like, can you imagine like for 8, almost 9 minutes, you just feeling like this shit is about to end. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, not in no sense of like, okay, the natural way of us going where we might feel a calm in a lot of cases. No, you just sitting up here just facing your demise. That's like jumping out of a plane or something. You just watching yourself go towards the bottom.
Yeah.
Like that is terrifying, man.
Right.
And so that, like, I feel like what he did was pretty much say that like what I felt was only a fraction. You know what I'm saying? Like that George Floyd situation was like exponentially greater than what I felt in those 30-something seconds when it's like, bro, like it could be all over for me.
Right.
That was one of my favorite parts about it, among everything else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah. So the special was damn good. So if you haven't watched the special, go watch the special. It's not a comedy show, but he is still Dave Chappelle. And what I mean by that is he's still Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. Still some laughs.
You know what I mean? He gonna have his cigarette.
Yeah.
He gonna have his goddamn drink, and he gonna say what the fuck you want to say.
Yeah.
Period.
I love that about him.
So to me, he made me feel like he freaking understood.
Yeah.
And he cared. It wasn't no fluffy Hollywood production that tried to center himself in the midst of chaos.
Right.
It was a true, genuine, down to earth statement of solidarity and a statement of I feel the pain.
Yeah.
And how dare your ass try to act like you don't know why the pain is here.
Yeah.
So I think he illustrated every last bit of that.
Yeah. I think he also addressed celebrity worship well. Right. Because the thing is, he pretty much like similar to like something that J. Cole even kind of alluded to in his song, which I think you should listen to. It's called Snow in the Bluff, if you haven't listened to it already.
I haven't.
But he was pretty much saying like, why the fuck do I need to speak? Like there are other people out here speaking.
Right.
But you have where there's a large population of people who it's like the world, like the reality isn't real unless it's happening to a celebrity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like we like guidance doesn't matter until it comes from a celebrity. It's like you've had, whether it was Black Lives Matter or the many activists before, the many activists that will come from very a large number of organizations. Why do we need a celebrity? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, what the fuck does Michael Jordan and Larry Bird have to do with McDonald's?
Right.
Somehow that makes you want to go to McDonald's because you see them eating this shit.
Right.
Why does Dave Chappelle have to give his stamp of approval and have to have something to say? Because it's like, bro, they're just people.
Right.
A lot of them are just uneducated people that were here to entertain. They don't.
Right.
They're not all knowing, omniscient people that are just aware of everything going on.
Absolutely.
Like, so he did right. He like, bro, like, why the fuck don't he speak? The streets is saying what need to be said.
Absolutely.
I don't have to get out here and say nothing. Listen to the people that's talking. Why are you waiting on me to speak?
Right.
Sorry, man. Like Dave Chappelle, man. Like
the truth, man.
I thought I couldn't respect the man more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He just keep on bumping it up.
And you know, Dave Chappelle, for us in our age group, I mean, we were still relatively young when Dave Chappelle was popping. So we really couldn't get enthralled with
I was. I was that one.
Right. So what was your aha moment in watching it? Like what was that thing that clicked for you?
Shit. I mean,
or was it just what you explained in the beginning of just that 30-second?
What I said, well, the 2 points that I mentioned, well, I guess kind of like 3. Those were those were like some of the big aha moments for me.
Cool.
And
mine's
his really, it's like, and this kind of goes outside of the special, but it's just somebody saying that I'm gonna be me regardless,
right?
And the people that fuck with me gonna fuck with me. I don't need to be Hollywood. I need to be me,
right?
Because then I have a true niche. I have a true support, a fan base support system, and they're gonna listen to what I have to say,
right?
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about
100.
trying to be on Kevin Hart status. I'm not trying to throw Kevin Hart in the mix. I'm just saying, you know, it ain't about trying to be Kevin Hart status,
right?
It's not trying to
just being who he is, yeah.
And so it's like there's nothing wrong with just being you, and you will get what you got coming from just being you,
right?
But it's the most relieving, it's the most fulfilling thing to just say what you got to say from a genuine standpoint,
right? 100%. Yeah. For me, I had 2 aha moments. I think one of them, well, I think you've kind of touched on one of them, was when he was talking about Don Lemon and him not needing to come out and step on the movement. You know, he trusts the youth, and I think that was so powerful.
Yeah.
For us to hear as millennials and generation X, I think it is Z. The generation below us.
Oh yeah, the ones that's born like,
younger.
Yeah.
Is it Z?
Z. Yeah.
So generation Z, to understand, you know, that you got this older, you know, black man saying, "Hey, I rock with y'all. I support y'all."
Yeah.
Because you know we grew up. For us in our age group, 90 babies, we are some of the most picked on generation of people in the world. Like nobody, for some reason, it's like you can think of any problem. If the person that's talking about the problem is over 50,
millennials
is the reason for the problem. Millennials is the reason for the problem. Oh, it's raining today. Those damn millennials.
Right, bro.
Like, you know, millennials, you know, and so to hear Dave Chappelle say, "Hey man, young folks, I rock with you. I feel comfortable in the back seat. Y'all are driving the hell out this car. Keep driving it."
Yeah.
To me, that was powerful.
Yeah.
It was sending that message of solidarity, and it was doing it unequivocally.
Yeah.
It was saying, "I mess with you."
Yeah. And somebody else who I'm a big fan of, and I mentioned before, Corey Holcomb. He also was saying he with the shits. He like what we out here doing or whatever, but he's more crass, and that's more of my type of humor among other types, whatever. But yeah, because we have dealt with a lot of criticism. Like millennials have always been scrutinized. I mean, you got where the Bill Cosby's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
always talking about what we ain't doing, but it's like really we're the ones creating the most change in real time right now that
because we got to,
you know what I'm saying?
Because we got to
over a long span of time.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. Put yourself in 1960, in the 60s.
Right.
Martin Luther King was young when he became an activist.
Right. And that's something I actually want to, you actually bring up something I want to mention. Like when people talk about, even when we talk about people like Tupac, in any regard, remember this man died at 25 years old.
Right.
He was 25 when he was killed, bro. Like, who were we at 25? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so we got people like him, even regardless of what people try to clown him or like try to diss him on saying, you know, he was still talking about, bro, the man was 25 and still affected that much change and that much thought in a lot of people.
Absolutely.
But to this day, people still doing. And there are things that are happening right now with the millennials and Generation Z that are gonna echo throughout the next century, 2-3 centuries.
For sure.
And the thing is, I think it's a good thing that a lot of us are genuinely on code that like, bro, we not our ancestors. We will fight.
Right.
Like we don't believe in that. We don't believe in that being a turtle.
Right.
We just gonna stick our neck out when we feel safe.
Right.
Fuck all that.
Right.
If I need to, I will shoot your ass. Like,
that's it. Real talk. My second point in the special, Dave Chappelle, we're talking about Dave Chappelle's special 8 minutes 46 seconds was when he said anyone that's black that survives this life as a black man is my fucking hero. I almost crashed. I was listening to this going down to a work meeting, and I almost crashed my car because I have never really heard a celebrity say it. Not even, and I'm not doing the whole celebrity hierarchy crap, but I've never seen somebody outside of somebody with a voice that reduced it down, but yet said so much and so little.
Yeah.
Because that is the truth. And I think that if people can kind of gather that and process it and try to understand what that means by saying, if you survive this life, if you make it out of this life without being murdered by a racist cop
while still being true to your people,
then you my hero.
Yeah.
Man, that was dope to me.
I think I almost shared. It's like it was one. I think that actually really. I can't believe I forgot about that because that was one of the moments that actually touched me. It was like when
you felt it. Like you literally felt it.
I'm a very emotional person. I think I might have felt like a little like watery, like
I'm telling you right now, bro. Let me tell you, I almost crashed the car. Like, man, it was deep.
I feel like everything that I'm doing individually and the things that I see other people doing collectively,
it matters.
It mattered. Like somebody noticed it.
Somebody
who we want to notice it on our end. Just say, hey, man, like I rock with you. I rock with what you're doing. Like that. Yeah.
Oh boy. I think we ended this one on a good one though.
Yeah.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle, if you for happen see this,
please.
You know what I mean? We support you, man. We rock with you. We appreciate you rocking with us, young folks. And all of you ladies and gentlemen who joined us on the podcast, stuck out with us for 1 hour and 52 minutes. I appreciate you as well. I'll be back here next Friday. I think Eric might become on maybe a little bit of a regular on the show. I'm just throwing it in the atmosphere. He might be. We'll see. But what's your final thoughts, Eric?
I mean, really, I appreciate the people that have listened. I appreciate everybody who's supporting. I hope that we've provoked some sort of thought, and I've hoped that we've been able to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Give you some different perspectives because we know where we stand. We also got to think about everything else. And I just really appreciate everybody who at least opened their ear and their hearts and their soul to what we had to say and what our guests had to say.
Right.
And not just be provoked by anger. You know what I mean? I appreciate everybody who at least tried to give us a chance.
Right. Absolutely. And my final thoughts are, listen, I told you my why in this podcast, and I'm gonna keep doing it. Black culture is who I believe. Well, I'm a part of black culture, but at the end of the day, I think that we gotta make sure that we put ourselves on the platform to where we can educate, motivate, and inspire our own people,
right?
And not wait for somebody else to give us that opportunity,
right? Or wait for somebody to give us permission,
right? Exactly. Ain't no more waiting. So y'all have a good night, man, and we will see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Bye.
Raymond, and I'm the host of New Wave Real Talk. Thank you so much for watching the show today. Please go ahead and comment and subscribe if you're watching either on YouTube or Facebook. Comment. Let me know how you liked today's show. Also, if you want to be a featured guest on the show, this is how you get in contact with me. Email newwaverealtalk@gmail.com. Let me know what you have to offer to the black community, and I will do my best to get back with you as it relates to when would be a good time for you to come on the podcast. So thank y'all so much for the support, and I will see you next Friday, and we will do it again. We'll rock it out again. So thank y'all for being here, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.